Hello all, and thanks for joining our series of webinars. And today's webinar especially with a special thanks to Rekall for hosting and providing some of the great knowledge here for you all. We, in this new environment, we wanted to make sure we were doing meaningful educational events. We miss you all at trade shows. Being able to jump in the plane and go out and meet with you and buy you lunch as we usually do throughout the year to many of our firms. So we don't want to overwhelm you, so we had the idea of starting weekly webinars, focusing on things that are a great help and can help your workflow at your firm. One of the things that is key, so the Worldox clients, as many of you here listening now or after on the recording will attest to, you're used to working from home and for various ways to get into Worldox and your systems. And many of my clients, our clients, just tell me they never missed a beat with Worldox, which is good to hear. But also there's some confusion out there as to what a cloud system is, and it kind of bugs me. Many would portray a cloud as only being a application, one single app that is hosted and is a cloud app. We know that there's other ways to provide cloud services, and many of our clients has their entire environment in a hosted data center, whether VDI or Citrix, and literally folks like Rekall will publish their entire platform and desktop services. So they have nothing on site per se. Where that is awesome is that you have not just one application that is hosted in the cloud, but all your applications, so that when you transition to mobile work from home, you can get to all your applications at once, and they're protected and backed up. So I think it's really important. These first series are talking with our solution providers that provide these type of services, really take a load off of the small to mid firms, and will help with that. So with that, it's not my webinar, it's Rekall's here. So I want to say you all be safe, and thank you for joining. And Hella, I'll let you take it with introductions from here.
Okay, thank you, Ray. I'm Hella Schwartz-Grossman. I'm the marketing manager at Worldox. And before we get started with today's webinar, there are a few housekeeping items. The webinar will be recorded and the link will be emailed to you afterwards. Everyone is muted, but if you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the GoToWebinar questions pane, and we'll address questions at the end of the webinar. As Ray mentioned, today's webinar is part of our new legal technology webinar series, and we have the sessions on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Today we would like you to meet Rekall Technologies. Today's speakers are Ross Siroti, he's the founder and CEO of Rekall Technologies, and Corinne Loveland, Rekall's training consultant. Ross is the founder and CEO of Rekall Technologies. Rekall is a New Jersey-based technology firm 100% focused on law firm technologies, including managed services and private cloud. Ross's expertise lies in advising law firms regarding successful technologies, law firm security, aiding in all technology decision-making, and working with legal administrators to implement successful firm-wide technology procedures. Ross is a hands-on CEO that likes to be in regular contact with his clients. Above all, Ross strives to be a true business partner focused on his clients' success. Corinne Loveland is Rekall's training consultant, offering Rekall clients a full training experience. Corinne has presented and trained many Fortune 500 companies. Her strength lies in planning, patience, clarity, and superb execution. Rekall's private cloud eliminates your office servers, moves your work to virtual desktops in the cloud, and allows you to work from anywhere, at any time, on any device. During today's session, Ross and Corinne will share how Rekall can improve your security while streamlining your technology. Thank you in advance for the attention you'll be giving the webinar today. And Ross and Corinne, I'll hand it over to you.
All right. All right, Corinne, take it away.
All right, thanks, Ross. Thanks, Ella. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Corinne, and as you just heard, I'm a training consultant working with Rekall Technologies. Today's presentation has been designed to tell you about Rekall's unique business model, our commitment to law firm technologies and service, and the benefits that many firms see when moving from a traditional server residing in an office to a fully cloud-based system. Here's a look at the agenda for today's presentation. First, we'll talk a bit about the benefits of moving to the cloud. Then I'll explain why Rekall is the optimal provider of IT service. From there, we'll take a look at the specifics of Rekall Cloud and discuss its unique benefits. I'll be keeping an eye on questions that come in through the chat, and we'll aim to answer those questions at the end of today's presentation. Let's begin by talking about why so many firms are moving to the cloud. Lawyers are busy. You're busy being lawyers, and that's the best use of your time. You don't want to deal with IT, and you don't want to manage warranties, choose software solutions, or troubleshoot computers, and you shouldn't have to. Rekall believes in building strengths and hiring for weaknesses. That's why we're here to do all the heavy IT lifting, so our clients don't have to. Rekall is a fully fledged technology firm and offers both traditional IT and cloud-based IT service. What I can say is over the years, we have found that our cloud clients call less, have fewer disturbances, and create fewer support tickets. They focus less on the technology that runs their firms than those firms that have servers in the office. Cloud services are becoming so popular because they remove the burden of technology management. How? Because the cloud's flexibility allows IT professionals like Rekall to build out fully protected, versatile systems without cutting any corners. With the cloud, we can finally build a system that offers everything a business needs with an ideal setup and flawless security. This has never happened in the history of technology. Generally speaking, the more secure a solution is, the more cost prohibitive and the less user-friendly it also tends to be. This isn't the case with Rekall Cloud. Rekall Cloud is easy to use and it's secure. The other reason why cloud-based technology is becoming so popular is internet speeds. Today, you can stream Netflix in 4K to your phone while you're on a train moving at 80 miles per hour. That certainly wasn't the case 10 years ago. Just as data speeds over the air have increased, so has home and office internet. With today's technology, we no longer have to wait for keystrokes to load in Microsoft Word or web pages to load line by line. We've come a long way, and the high-speed internet of today is an absolute game changer for businesses. 15 years ago, Rekall would have been able to offer extremely expensive internet to clients, but the back-end systems just weren't built to run the way they run today. We're living and working in a phenomenal time in technological history, during which all technologies have come together to give business owners, not even just attorneys, the ability to completely avoid IT management while still being able to rely on the technology they need. This is what the Rekall Cloud offers: freedom from that nagging burden of IT management while minimizing the time theft associated with slow computers, aging servers, and a bad infrastructure from your firm. So when we think about reasons to move to the cloud, we have fast internet and the awesome technology of 2020. The cloud makes sense, but why do law firms choose Rekall specifically? They choose us because we offer unparalleled value with our cloud packages. We offer absolutely everything a law firm needs to operate today on and off the cloud. Rekall clients have unlimited access to specialized technicians. We offer a system that is privately managed and maintained, has never gone down, and is backed up in 2 locations. Importantly, switching to Rekall Cloud won't require you to change the way you work at all. Our business model is flexible and able to meet your unique needs. Like I said, Rekall checks all the boxes. Let me tell you a bit more about us. I'll begin with a quick look at our successful business model. As I mentioned a few moments ago, we understand that attorneys want to be attorneys, which is the best use of their time. We also know quite well that technology, much like the law, can be complicated, and issues always seem to arise when they're least convenient. Just as law firms advocate for their clients, Rekall advocates for law firms who are our clients. We assess your needs and present solutions for you so you can make informed decisions with ease. Support is a primary focus. Rekall was founded on the principles of offering reliable technology and quality support, and these remain the principles of Rekall's business model today. Our commitment to exceptional service has allowed us to work with many long-standing legal clients who rely on us to never waver in that quality of support or the reliability of the technology we provide. Rekall is an old-school business that started when our CEO supported a handful of law firms from his basement. We've grown immensely, but our focus then is still our focus now, adding value to our clients at every step of the way. Much of the work we do serves legal administrators specifically, for whom we have tons of respect. We understand that they are the backbone of a successful firm and wear many hats. When a legal administrator is happy because the technology they use is reliable and efficient, attorneys and other staff members are also happy. Everyone is happy. I'll talk more about the white glove services we offer for legal administrators a bit later in today's presentation. While today I'm here to talk about the benefits of the cloud, Rekall supports clients that need managed IT services as well. This is part of what helps us transition our clients to the cloud so effectively. Additionally, for some clients, we find that cloud-based support integrated with managed IT services is the best approach, and we're experienced supporting that model of IT too. I may be here to talk about the cloud, but I want to make clear that Rekall does not provide exclusively cloud-based IT service. We are, however, exclusively dedicated to law firms and to meeting our firm's unique needs. We have been focusing on law firms since day one, back in 2011. When our CEO met our CTO, Rekall restructured and focused on managed services as well as private cloud services for our law firms. We now support over 150 law firms in 18 states, Canada, and even Israel. Rekall is based in New Jersey. We are self-funded and owner-operated by our two partners. Ross Siroti is Rekall's CEO and managing partner. Ross worked as IT support for many law firms prior to starting Rekall. His experience supporting law firms has grown and shaped the business to what it is today. Ross manages Rekall's staff, procedures, and overall direction. His primary focus is passing his knowledge onto our current support and project staff. Svet Hristov, originally from Plevin, Bulgaria, is Rekall's CTO. Around the office, we call him the architect. Along with our senior technicians, he's the brain behind Rekall Cloud. Svet's role is to advance our cloud platform and support our senior technicians with key implementation projects. Rekall has 18 staff members, spanning roles in technology, finance, marketing, client relations, and administration. Our team is awesome. Our CEO truly believes that a happy staff creates happy clients. The work atmosphere at Rekall is unique for the tech industry. We believe that in order to create happy clients, we must first create a happy staff and provide a comfortable and enjoyable work environment. We create ample opportunity for advancement, support, training, and mentoring for all technicians, as well as full transparency within the business. We believe that to achieve excellence, our team members have to believe in what they're doing. They have to believe what they're doing is allowing them to grow and learn, and they have to believe they're part of a substantial team. We create this environment because we make a strong culture a priority. As a result, our team is happy and provides excellent service, which in turn yields long-standing clients. So that's Rekall overall. Now I'd like to talk about Rekall's cloud-based model of service specifically. What is Rekall Cloud and why is it the best? Our goal with Rekall Cloud is to give law firms exactly what they want. We know IT is annoying and inconvenient and that attorneys would much rather focus on practicing law than on managing technology. Rekall Cloud is a simplified IT solution that allows you to work with complete confidence in our security, versatility, and support. Our solution is simple and convenient, but our solution is also sound. Our clients have no regrets in their decision to partner with Rekall. Unlike Amazon and Microsoft Azure, Rekall Cloud is private. We worked with Azure and Amazon in the beginning, and when we did, we had trouble accessing support, and the support we did get was not of high quality. Our clients didn't like that. Since Azure and Amazon are public clouds, we didn't have total control over the hardware on which their data was stored. We decided this lack of control wouldn't suffice, so we built our own cloud. Let's talk about what it would look like to have your entire IT infrastructure in the cloud. Imagine throwing away your servers and no longer having to maintain or manage any hardware. This means you'd never have to purchase a new server, and you'd never have to deal with server upgrades or warranties. With the cloud, you won't have to worry about downtime or disruptions due to technology not working the way you want or expect it to. Without downtime or disruptions, office staff can focus on their jobs rather than fight with technology. In turn, you'll see an increase in productivity. On Rekall Cloud, workstations are merely a portal to the internet. Because the power is in the cloud itself, very little processing is done on the workstations. Therefore, you can use the computers you have until they're dead and purchase inexpensive workstations or simple terminals when the need arises. As long as you have internet access, you can use our encrypted tunnel to connect securely from anywhere. This means you can connect using any Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android device. Some attorneys use Bluetooth keyboards and tablets to connect to the cloud. Some prefer a laptop tethered to their phone data plans. Whatever you like to use will work. You'll simply connect to a personal Windows-based cloud desktop. From there, you can access all of your firm documents, applications, and even your email. During the transition to the cloud, Rekall technicians will migrate, set up, and configure your legal applications on Rekall Cloud servers. These applications will look and operate just as you're used to them working, but you'll find that they run a bit faster due to our back-end server tuning. Rekall supports, manages, and maintains more than 30 of the top legal applications, including Worldox, iManage, PC Law, Pro Law, Tab 3, Time Slips, Needles, QuickBooks, and so many more. Additionally, all Microsoft licensing is included with Rekall Cloud, including Windows Server, SQL, and Microsoft Office for all users with free updates and security patches. Worldox will be configured to work just how you're using it today. We work with the top Worldox certified independent consultant on all Worldox integrations. After the migration to the cloud, all users will have the same email addresses and mailbox data they previously had. Users will also receive advanced spam filtering services, as well as ransomware, virus, spyware, and malware protection. On Rekall Cloud, technicians support your cloud infrastructure as well as your local IT infrastructure. That means we'll still contact your internet service provider if there are any internet issues within your office. We'll still price, purchase, set up, and configure your new workstations. And with Rekall, unlimited support is in fact unlimited for all cloud and local IT related issues. I'll talk a bit more about what you can expect from Rekall support momentarily. Next, I'll hand it over to Ross, our CEO, to show you the cloud.
All right. Let me just get you gotta hand it over to me. There you go. Just share my screen. Okay, looks like my screen's up. How you guys doing? Hopefully no one's fallen asleep yet. I promise it's not gonna be much longer, guys. All right, so I wanna do a demo with you. This is my desktop. I wanna show you how easy it is to connect. So I'm going to simply double click this remote desktop icon and I'm gonna connect to the cloud. Bam, right there. So that is the cloud desktop. The demo is actually not gonna be so long because as you can see, it's identical to what you're used to right now. You still have your Microsoft Office, which we offer all Microsoft licensing, including Office, SQL, and Windows Server. Worldox is there to show you that it works and it's up and it's running and it's doing its thing. We have Outlook, we have Word. We move your Adobe PDF licensing application, and as well as browsers. Any kind of browser you want. We usually move your bookmarks. We've gone through painstaking elements to make sure that we emulate your local setup, because when people go to the cloud, they're always a little unsure on what's going to be missing. They're kind of looking for things to be missing between billing items in PC Law or the last document they worked on a Friday for a Monday go live. It's all going to be there. It's actually pretty easy to explain. Worldox works the same way. Word opens without a problem. You type. I remember old style cloud systems used to, when you type, used to be a little laggy. these days with fast internet and the technology behind Rekall Cloud, everything just works. It works pretty instantaneously. Now, I just want to show you this. So I have a Brother printer that's in my home office here, and this is it. If I connect from work where we have a Dell, you'll see a Dell there, and it'll be able to print. You'll be able to scan. Everything is pretty much, I don't want to save this document. Everything is pretty much identical to what you're used to right now. And wherever you connect to, you'll be able to print, scan, and work, which unfortunately, during this epidemic we're having, it's a necessity more and more, especially for printing and scanning type stuff. Other than that, one thing you can't see here is the connection. So your connection is good. You see these bars here, but what you can't see is that this is an encrypted connection. So what that means is that the keystrokes, anything that you may copy and paste. So let's actually, I want to show you how to copy and paste a file up. Now there's better ways to do this, but this is just for this demo. So if I want to do a new file and I want to get it up to the cloud, literally it's a copy and it's a paste right here. And bam, and then we have the file, and then if we want, we can copy and paste it, or we can print it from here. I'm showing you things that you pretty much are aware of already. This is very simple stuff. But I want to show you about the encryption. So we have a couple of firms that have offices outside of the country, Middle East and Russia. And some of these countries actually don't allow encryption like America does. Some of them either don't allow it, some of them it is illegal, and others you actually have to purchase an encryption license because it's an issue when things are encrypted and the government or certain governments can't see the data that's being transmitted. Also, terrorists use encryption methods, so government agencies can't access their data. So it's actually kind of funny that the same technology the terrorists use is the same technology you're using to protect your data from hackers. So for those clients that have offices outside the country that can't use this method, we actually had to come up with another method of connection. And let me show you that. So it's actually connecting to the cloud with a different form of encryption that is cool for just other government. It seems to be good for the Middle East and it seems to be good for Russia. So basically what I've done is I've connected to our web portal. So before we're using Microsoft Remote Desktop, which is the best way, hands down, to connect to the cloud, 100%. You're going to want to use that 100% of the time. But this way is an alternative way if you need to connect where a remote desktop with encryption is just not allowed. So basically we connect from there. We want to use a portal connection. This is an HTML with HTML5 with an encryption connection. And this is basically connecting from a browser. And this will connect from any browser. I happen to like Chrome, so I'm using Chrome, and everything works the same way, just like it did before. So the whole point of this, obviously, I want to give you a good idea of how this works, and it really works no different than what you're used to. But we're very flexible when it comes to creating solutions for our clients. Due to the fact that we're a technology firm first that focuses on law firms and not just a cloud vendor, whenever problems arise, even for a small client, even for a single law firm, we have to go back to the drawing board and we have to create this. Now, we created this for a firm a couple of years ago, literally because they had offices in Russia and the United States, and we've gotten other firms that have benefited from it. So the point is that this is not a very cookie cutter solution. We like finding problems, we like finding solutions, and we like offering the very best with really not cutting any corners. With the solution like this, you're still able to work without cutting corners. Obviously, the other thing is better, but at least if you're on a plane, if you're somewhere where encryption doesn't work, you have a solution. So that's basically the two ways to connect to Rekall Cloud. That's my spiel. Let me bring it back to Corinne.
All right. Thank you, Ross.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that demonstration. Next, I'd like to talk about what it's like to partner with Rekall day to day and the standards of quality you can expect from us. On the cloud, power issues are no longer a concern. If your office loses power or internet, you can simply take your laptop and work from home. If your home loses power or internet, you can tether your phone to your laptop or find another source of internet. This means you can work from Starbucks or anywhere else that has public Wi-Fi. And you don't have to worry about security because when you're using an encrypted tunnel, public Wi-Fi is safe. Most law firms simply do not adopt the level of security that Rekall Cloud offers. Generally, firms worry that adopting this level of security as a small or even a medium-sized business is too costly. But Rekall Cloud offers enterprise-level security to firms of all sizes. Some firms worry that enhanced security means they'll have to compromise how they're used to working, but that's not the case. Even with added security, you will be able to work just as you do now. No compromises will be necessary. Rekall Cloud really is as simple as it sounds. Firms with multiple locations are perfect candidates for the cloud. For these clients, Rekall will build a multi-office network using encrypted tunnels and firewall hardware. We will manage all local technologies in each of your locations and offer a platform for all users to access from any office or anywhere they happen to be. With this setup, people can collaborate on shared projects, share files from multiple locations. This model allows you to hire staff members outside the location where you're based, which is especially helpful for clients based in areas like New York and California, where salaries are especially high. And needless to say, during the current global pandemic, many Rekall firms have gone entirely remote, with their staff working from home 100% of the time. Using the cloud, remote work is a complete non-issue because literally nothing will be different. I take that back. The one thing that can change is saving on overhead costs by closing your offices. Amazon and Azure taught us that we want to maintain control. The more technology factors that we can control, the smoother our client's experience will be. We control the servers. We control who has access to the servers. We control who gains access to the data facilities. From server installation to software implementation, you'll work with Rekall every step of the way. We also understand that not all cloud platforms are the same. Some cloud vendors share virtual servers and data stores between clients. This is risky business and not something Rekall would ever do. With Rekall, virtual servers are dedicated to your firm and your firm alone. Your data will never be shared or commingled with another firm's data. With Rekall Cloud, firms can control IT costs once and for all. Each month, costs are identical, making them predictable and able to be budgeted. What this all adds up to is a cloud solution customized to your business. We understand that all firms are different, work differently, and therefore need similar, but also different solutions. The flexibility that Rekall offers our law firms is unmatched because we offer solutions that go way beyond the comfort zones of most dedicated cloud companies. We can do that because we have the IT experience backing our cloud, and we're not scared to get our hands dirty. This leads me to support. Our support staff works with attorneys, paralegals, and legal staff all day, every day. Rekall Help Desk support is second to none. We have built the most personable, knowledgeable, and professional team you'll find. We know that help desk support can make or break an IT firm, and that's why we are the best. We offer help desk support to all clients with unlimited support packages, and at Rekall, unlimited really does mean unlimited. Our support staff is US-based and available to help you Monday through Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll help you with your servers, workstations, phones, email, internet, copiers, connectivity, you name it, Rekall will support it. Beyond help desk support, let's talk about our VIP firm administrators and the support we provide there. Rekall supports firm administrators with white glove services you'll love. To start, we will manage all hardware, software, warranties, licensing, and even your website. We will also support you in the creation of firm technology processes, including password policies, remote access work from home policies, who should have access to what data, and anything else you need our expertise to help decide. We will price all technology purchases and handle shipping and configuration. Sometimes items may be shipped to our offices for configuration and setup, and for other items, we will come on site for an install, during which we will make sure you have everything you need to be up and running effectively. By supporting over 150 law firms, we have learned a thing or two. We know what combination of software will best set you up for success given your firm's specific goals, so you can count on us to make reliable recommendations. We will set up appointments with software vendors and be on the line with you to evaluate those solutions. We will audit all technology vendors, copier leases, VoIP contracts, and internet service provider bills. We can assist with office moves, ensuring your new office is wired correctly by doing the job ourselves. We will organize internet and phone service migrations, and even the relocation of copiers and other leased equipment. And we'll brainstorm solutions with you on anything you need. Our staff's wide range of expertise has us well equipped to handle just about anything with both creativity and ease. Next, let's talk about security. When it comes to security, Rekall Cloud uses Tier 3 security facilities. What does that mean? At a Tier 3 facility, they basically have anything you can think of when it comes to security measures. Listed on screen now are the security measures required for Tier 3 protection. From security guards to biometric screening, from waterless fire suppression and dedicated cooling systems, to enough diesel and batteries to run the facility. This list is comprehensive and quite literally bulletproof. We use Iron Mountain. The Iron Mountain facility in New Jersey is the largest and most secure data facility on the East Coast. For context, it was fully up and running during Hurricane Sandy in 2012. The Iron Mountain facility in Ohio is partnered with LexisNexis, who leases half of the facility. Rekall offers law firms redundant facilities located in both New Jersey and Ohio. This means that all client data is stored and replicated between both locations to uphold compliance and security standards. Rekall security sounds unbeatable, but what about compliance? We have implemented security standards that uphold ABA, PCI, and HIPAA compliance practices. All desktops are incorporated into our cloud-based asset management system. We install an agent on each workstation, and each workstation is protected from viruses, malware, spyware, and ransomware, and has automated operating system security patching. Up to 80% of ransomware attacks are transmitted through email. On Rekall Cloud, email is protected to the highest level. Our email services also include spam filtering and encryption for HIPAA-compliant law firms. With Rekall Cloud, servers and server networks are individually and proactively protected with gateway-level protection and firewall-level intrusion detection and prevention. We also set up dual-factor authentication to ensure the person logging into the cloud is who it's supposed to be. All data moving into and out of our facility is encrypted, and we have many more back-end security measures to keep you safe, including client anonymity and intrusion detection and protection services. Backups are done multiple times per day, with a replication sent to our secondary facility so you can be sure your data will never be lost. If desired, we can even offer a third level of backup to your office location. This means that you can rest assured that recovery of your server, a folder, or even a specific file can be performed within minutes. Moving to the cloud is a serious undertaking. As I hope I've made clear, not all cloud vendors are created equal. Before you make the move, you'll want to learn as much as you can to find a cloud vendor that shares your views on what's important. We recommend that you ask the following questions as you begin your evaluation. First, how long have you been in business? How many employees do you have? And how many law firms do you support? Technology vendors that serve law firms are different from general technology vendors. Supporting a school or a construction company is very different from supporting a law firm. Law firms have unique needs, different from doctors' offices or government entities or other businesses. They require different support and a different level of service. Also ask, may I have references? Here, you'll want to make sure the references are in fact from law firms. What is included as support, and is it unlimited? Is your cloud platform private or public? Where is your data facility located? Do you have more than one data facility? Will you support all of my IT needs or just those associated with the cloud? Has your business been bought or sold in the past 3 years? Does your business have plans to buy or sell in the future? These buy-sell questions are big ones. We work with many law firms that have canceled IT agreements due to an IT company merger or sale. Sometimes the result of these transactions is poor support, bad communication, and people you have grown to trust no longer working with you. Mergers and acquisitions often do not put the client first because the client has been sold to and left to accept whatever services are offered after that transition. Rekall is in business to be the best, not to make the most money. We have no plans to buy or sell. Our plan is to grow naturally over time. And we understand that speeding up the growth process will most likely result in poor client service, which we aren't willing to let happen. You'll also want to ask, what is your backup retention? By this, we mean how many days will backup data be held? How do you handle operating system upgrades, and are they included? Really, all Microsoft upgrades should be included. Not having to worry about upgrades is one of the points of moving to the cloud. What are your support hours? Here, you want to make sure they meet your needs. I just gave you a lot of information. What I hope you take away is this. First, the cloud is viable for businesses of all types and sizes. When it comes to cost, we find that if a firm is already doing all they should to protect their firm's data, the costs needed to move to the cloud are really comparable to standard IT services. The cloud is for law firms looking to remove the burden of IT management from firm management. The cloud offers more control and fewer annoyances than traditional IT setups. Firms that partner with Rekall agree on one thing. They've found the last technology solution they'll ever need. The firms we partner with never again have to worry about upgrades, downtime, or technology management. Why? Because Rekall is simple, versatile, and it just works. Support is offered by real technicians who understand the value of your time. I can say that Rekall is the best, but you may be thinking I'm biased. But our clients say it too. Here's Ken Thompson, an attorney we've been working with for a long time. As he says, he's been using Rekall for years and has experienced zero downtime. He says our technicians are quick and knowledgeable and able to support any application. Thanks, Ken. Dave Alexander has a similar story to tell, highlighting the ways he was able to break away from a traditional 8+ hour workday in an office, thanks to Rekall. He can now work from anywhere, so he splits his time between Wisconsin and Tennessee. He is more productive and better able to balance his life responsibilities with his work. Thank you, Dave. John Hoyle is another advocate of Rekall and calls out our expert support staff. We're glad we make him feel like he's our only client. That's how our clients should feel. John also mentions a more productive staff and zero downtime. We're happy to hear it. Thank you, John. And with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Ross is also happy to talk to you directly if you'd like to discuss anything further, and you can reach him at ross@rekalltechnologies.com. Thank you for your time and attention.
Okay, and we do have a question pending that I'd like to pass along. The first question that we have, it looks like you're using remote desktop to open an RDP session in the cloud. How are you ensuring that security or virus issues on the remote client computer does not transfer and infect the desktop and the servers in the cloud?
I'm actually going to answer the question. So one part that you didn't see with my my screen capture, just because it takes another second, is the VPN connection. So there is a full disconnect between the local computer and the remote desktop. You can connect them, and even if you could, nothing has ever transferred between local and the cloud. It's really for moving things from local to the cloud. But as far as security goes, when you work with Rekall, the local computer has an agent on it for security. The Windows desktops in the cloud have agents on them as well, very similar. The firewall backend also has a gateway security covering you for all the stuff, viruses, spyware, ransomware, malware, and email. So with a 4-pillar of security there between email, the server, the workstation, and the gateway of the firewall, we've actually never had that issue. And the transference from local to the cloud has never happened due to the disconnect that we have and the setup that we have through remote desktop.
Thanks, Ross. Another question. What do you typically recommend for internet service and backup internet service at the office for your clients?
Okay, that's a really good question, actually. It depends on, really depends on where you're located. Just as we're nationwide, we find that the Northeast really has the best internet. Florida has pretty good internet, but when you go to the West, the speeds are not that great. So if you're in the Northeast, if you're really worried about it, you really can go for the backup. Our VPN appliances that we have appliances that we install on site. They can handle dual failover. They can even handle failover to the air if you have a USB Verizon hotspot or an AT&T hotspot. Generally, cable is enough. I wouldn't do anything less than cable. Obviously, Fios is the very best you can get in this country. Before you go to the crazy fiber, $700-800 a month, which I would only get if no other internet is available in your area. And of course, costs vary. So I would go with cable internet. Cable internet will definitely do you well. And the ultimate, though, I mean, we have clients with the ultimate. The ultimate is a Fios primary and a cable backup. If you can do that, you'll never have downtime at all.
Great. In these days where everybody is working remotely all of a sudden and, you only meet via Zoom or Teams or something, how do you handle Zoom or Teams meetings through your platform?
They're actually compatible. Back in the day, video stuff on remote desktop was not great. When I started in 2003 with Server 2003, then 2008 came and everything was a little better. And now 2016 came and everything really got much better. Now 2019 is here and all that video organization on the back end, even YouTube, it's amazing. YouTube never used to work great years ago. Now the cameras redirect to the cloud. The video plays without a problem. The audio never had a problem. It was always the video that was the issue. It's a really good question because it used to be terrible. It is fantastic now. It works really well.
Well, that's good to hear. Have you had, since this virus situation began, have you had a lot of people wanting to onboard immediately? And if so, how have you handled the influx of new business?
Pretty well, actually. We work really quick on the onboarding. We have specified onboarding team. It's a dual team. We have two guys on the team. It's Lloyd and Adam, and they're onboarding left and right. I hate when someone is in a situation when they have to get off of their server or they're in an emergency. This kind of stuff has happened even before COVID. And it's the worst when, just because I've seen it with some other cloud companies, when you're like waiting for a month to get on the cloud because you have a problem, you're moving your office or you're closing your office or this situation, this pandemic happens. So we generally get people on the cloud between a week and 2 weeks, depending on their setup. A Worldox client is actually very simple. That happens a lot quicker. The thing that we're dealing with, though, that's really interesting because we're technology focused on law firms first, and then we're cloud and all that stuff, is the support for people's individual home networks. Because everybody's got to work from home and everybody's connecting to the cloud and everybody's home connection is not the greatest. So we're finding that everybody's home connection is not as good as they could. But what's interesting is, or what's good, what's beneficial to our clients when limited support is, all that stuff's included. We've revamped, I don't know, probably 40 home networks in the past 4 months. Some people were not able to get Wi-Fi. We would ship out because obviously we got to do a contactless setup. We've benefited a lot of people's home networks. I'll tell you that. That's been not tricky, but something that was unforeseen.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about firms that have had to scramble because while the lawyers have had, equipment at home, not all of the staff have had equipment at home, and a lot of times I've heard of situations where firms have had to purchase equipment. Now, That's
rough because hardware right now. I was right before this. My mother's birthday is in 2 weeks, and my father wants me to buy her a laptop. So it was very hard to find laptops. Certain hardware on Amazon is just totally gone. you know?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that. And what was I just going to ask? Oh, yes. So, in terms of hardware, do firms that sign up with your service, do they typically own all the hardware, including the hardware that's used to connect to your system? Or do you allow a BYOD situation? Is that up to the firm to decide that? How does that work?
So generally speaking, with this type of cloud, you can connect from really anything, a Mac, Windows, even a terminal. So, and I'm very cost conscious. I'm trying to put myself in the client's situation. I don't want to go to a cloud, spend this money every month, and then have to spend $20,000 in hardware. You know what I mean? And I also don't want someone to give me a bunch of hardware that I then have to set up that's dissimilar, and it's just, it turns the project into a much bigger project, and it stops the decision making process because the thing turns into a pain in the butt to even do. So on our system, you can use what you have, and it's already owned by the firm. And then if they want, as these workstations die, which they will eventually, they can be replaced. We assist with the purchase process if they like. We configure it, we ship it out. And generally the workstations that you can buy these days, we're talking very small Intel NUCs. We're talking $400, very cheap things. You don't need so much power just to connect because all the processing is done on the cloud. So in every sense, we don't really lease hardware or anything like that. We like the clients to buy the hardware. There's no monthly retainer for hardware or anything like that. So the client really much owns all of the hardware.
That sounds great. So we have one other question that came in that I hope I'm getting this right. The question is, what is your opinion of VDI as an alternative to your current solution?
It's some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla. It's a different. There's Citrix, there's remote desktop base, there's VDI base. If you really want the answer other than the stupid chocolate and vanilla answer, I'll give you a real answer. There are many ways to do this type of cloud. And to pull back the curtain of IT for a second, the more stuff you set up on the back end, it'll benefit one person. It's not going to benefit the client. It's going to benefit the IT company. It's probably going to benefit as far as management. The difference is that it affects the cost, number one. And number two, for a VDI specifically, we've actually looked into that because we've been doing the same cloud for a while. And there's other cloud. When we started, it was the only cloud around. Now, years later, there's a lot of different other options out there. And I'm very open to seeing what's out there. If it's, I just want to try to find the better thing and offer the very best. So if there's something better, I got to offer it. What our research has found about VDI is that it is incredibly resource intensive. I have a competitor that uses VDI, and when you're setting up these servers, every time you buy a computer with X amount of RAM, you buy a computer with X amount of processing, and you're using those processes to perform your tasks. Have 50 tabs open in Chrome, have 25 documents open in PDF. The more power you have, the more you can do. So on the cloud, it's no different. Each tier of the cloud comes with a certain amount of resources. If I did VDI, I would have to sell more resources because each workstation, essentially each virtual desktop integration, would need more resources overall. In my opinion, from what I know, and I haven't researched 100%, this is our preliminary research, it's just not as efficient, and I worry that it would increase costs. And that's my opinion.
Well, thank you. I'm going to wait and see if anybody else has.
I'm trying to lower costs. I hate anything that would, obviously, if it made the system crazy better, we'd have to have a discussion about it. But just from what I see, it's just a negative and not a positive, other than good management for IT. But the end user is never going to see that. They just want to edit documents. They want to go on Worldox. They want to be able to search. You know, I can't make that any faster with a VDI. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, I'm not sure that I see any additional questions, so I'm going to pass this back to Hella.
Okay. Yeah, we don't see any questions. If anybody has anything else they would like to ask, they can, yes, they can contact you at the email on the screen right now. And we would like to thank both of you, Ross and Corinne, for doing the webinar with us today. As mentioned, we will be posting a recording of this webinar so that anyone unable to attend today can still get a chance to see it. Everyone who were able to join us today, thank you very much. And we hope you will join us again next week for another presentation. And we thank the Rekall team and look forward to talking to you more. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Hella. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.